Welcome aboard Batten Model Railroads. For this, we're going to go ahead and start getting the foam ready. I had to put some expanding foam in. We're going to cut that, trim it, get it ready to go. And then we're also going to go and try to get the track all laid today. So come along, help me get this thing down, and well, the project is finally really taking off. Well, welcome back to the project. I haven't really got a name for this one yet. Maybe we'll have to think of one. If somebody has an idea, I'd love to hear it. But I'm sure we'll come up with something. I should ask my son, maybe he can come up with it. But you never know what you're going to get with an 8-year-old. So this is the first time I really worked with expanding foam on anything. I've always been, not somebody that never did this kind of stuff before, and I've always been more, how do I put it, in the transportation industry as a driver or working for the airlines out on the ramp, or driving a bus, doing something, some form or another with the transportation industry. So doing this, something new to me. Like I said, when I was doing the woodworking build, I had never really done a whole lot of woodwork. I've been enjoying it though. So I did have a question for everybody who has done layouts before. If you had holes on the side like this that I had to fill that were bigger than I would have liked, did you ever use expanding foam to fill them, or did you start over? I guess I'm curious to know what you used, Sculptamold or plaster. What did you use to fill the hole if the, styrofoam sheet wasn't the perfect fit, or whatever you want to say? Just curious. Like I said, I'm not sure I would do this again with expanding foam. It was a mess. That's not as bad as what I was expecting, but I'm glad I went and bought the shop vac. And having a small one like this for down here in this room is great. So we're going to put 3 bridges on, 2 deck girder bridges, as you can see here. And one more of, maybe here in a second. Yeah, the thing kept moving on me. I kept leaning into it. The camera had fallen, so sorry I edited that out. But so we wanted to get this on because these had special connectors you had to put on. So I wanted to make sure I knew which ones were which. So I know it's not a big, massive layout like a lot of the guys do. We'll get to those bigger ones eventually. Like the spot behind me is eventually going to be for that. But right now, I thought, do smaller layouts, get them out, and you never know. Maybe something like this would be available if somebody wanted it to buy it. At first, I was going to leave the bridges on so you see what they are. But eventually, I ended up just switching them out with other pieces to just lay it flat. That way the tracks aren't up in the air like that. Thought it'd be easier to test everything else if we just put it on flats, but just know that the bridges will be there. So here we're just trying to get the sizing right. Want to make sure we don't lose that down the back. So this turn here is going to be spaced as a double main. We'll get that right. Obviously you see me showing the tool. Making sure it's done correctly for that. Now in the other video I mentioned I thought about doing these crossover pieces, but from everything I can see, you can't get them with wood ties. Only with concrete ties can you do the big crossover pieces. So we're gonna have to make the crossovers out of number 4 turnouts. Now I did find that the 2 right-handed number 4s didn't really lock in real well, so I'll end up probably soldering those joints, and I may solder more joints too on any spot where I feel it needs it, turnouts, whatever, for where they connect. But to try to keep the double main feeling through that turn and stuff, I had to keep the 2 turnouts connected this way, which works. I mean, it runs all right, but we'll just have to play it by ear and see. But yeah, they didn't lock in real good, so I think I'm going to end up soldering that together so they don't leave. Maybe I set that up and make it my own crossover type thing here at some point before we really truly lock it down. Here we go with one of the spurs. At least put that in. Now those turns in there are the 249s. They're a little bit sharper, but I did test them with triple axles and stuff. It's tight, but it's doable. This spur here is going to be grain facility, something to that nature, where you can store the hoppers. Not a very big one, but getting there. Getting pretty good at this, starting to understand it, the geometry, everything else here as we go. Another one of those R249s, so a little tight turn, but it works. I think I decided to switch it, put the longer one here to start. Didn't like how long it was, put it back over. Put a short with a small piece on it, and I like that better. When you only have 2.5 by 3.5 to work with, you kind of gets a little cramped in there, but I think this is a pretty good layout for both switching and continuous running for my son. And that's what it's supposed to be. Thanks for watching, and well, this is the final layout will be. Like, subscribe, and stay tuned to the next video. We may do some actual trains.